Dear King, all glories to the Son. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and by the sweetest graces of my spiritual master, my darkest eyes were opened to the self of love in the form of transcendental knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances, gratitude, and homage. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripasindhubhyacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Let us offer our respectful obeisances on all Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. For this life desire creates, that they can fulfill desires of everyone with their full compassion for all fallen conditioned souls. Hare Krishna. So before we start, it's always asked to take the blessings of the spiritual master so that we may speak. Because in all service, it is described in the nectar of devotion. There are 64 offenses we have to avoid when serving the deities and serving the devotees. So it is not very easy to do. It's not very easy to avoid these offenses. In fact, it's practically impossible in this stage of this dark and stage of quarrel and hypocrisy. So the methodology that is given by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita is that we do everything through the auspices, by the auspices of the spiritual master. So for that, I'll have you all put your hands together and repeat after me. Shri Guru, Paramananda, Premananda, Falaprada, Prajananda, Sevena, Ma, Niyojaya. Please repeat. My dear spiritual master, who gives the fruit of the highest bliss, bliss of love of God, please engage me in the blissful service of Sri Krishna, who bestows bliss upon the land of Braja. So Braja is the original home from which all of us are. Every living entity originates from the land of Braja. More elaborately, the name is given Goloka Vrindavan. It's very funny. It says go to. Right? Loka means place. Please go to Vrindavan. Goloka Vrindavan. Why? Because that is the place which Krishna never leaves. Krishna, Shyama Sundar never leaves, and none of us actually leave that place either. What happens is an expansion of us comes out into the material world because we are risk takers. All lovers are risk takers. When you fall in love with someone, you take a risk. Things may not pan out how you hope they will pan. And actually, it's not meant to pan out all the time. Because without contrast, you cannot really understand it. Without black, there is no meaning to white. Without night, there is no meaning to day. Without pain, there is no meaning to pleasure. Similarly, without misery, there is no meaning to happiness. So in our happiness of love, there are going to be times when some miserable conditions will arise. And sometimes these miserable conditions are actually inflicted upon ourselves by ourselves, actually. Actually, the Vedas very nicely, particularly Canto 4 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, explains this very nicely. That the problem with living in the material world is that we're living a life of illusion. We're in illusion. So what does illusion mean? Illusion doesn't mean it's false. Illusion simply means that we are misidentified. Just like in the dark, we see a rope and we think it's a snake. Rope is real. Snake is real. But that rope is not snake. Similarly, the world is real. We are real. But what we think of the world and how we deal with it is not correct. That we think that the material world was made for us to enjoy it, for our sense gratification, the satisfaction of our senses, our mind, our intelligence, and our false ego. These four are the ones who have actually kidnapped the soul and put it in a situation where now the soul has been held hostage. So I call these guys the Smiths. Senses, minds, intelligence, false ego, S-M-I-F. Smiths. The Smiths have been over, and we've become the Smith ourselves. And we're sniffing around the world, thinking, I will find happiness in this, I'll find happiness in that. Whereas the soul is not happy with any of those. The soul is to love Krishna, because the soul emanates from Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha mattaha sarvam pravartate. Krishna says, everyone and everything comes from Krishna. And when we do that, then we become intelligent. Yomami vamasamoto. Janati purushottama sarvavid paditi mam. Sarvabhavena bhakt. One who knows Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, comma, without doubting, comma, is the knower of everything. Such a person engages with all of their heart and soul in love of Krishna. All of our heart and soul is meant to love Krishna. Now, is Krishna such a insecure person that everybody seems to love him? He's so insecure. It's because he is the one who can give the greatest love, because he has everything. Everything belongs to him. Krishna says, there is not a place in all creation where a point like him can sit. It does not. Bhakta means he is the real enjoyer. He teaches us how to enjoy. You want to make money? Become Elon Musk's friend. You teach you how to make money. And I can make money by doing this. Right? Now, some of you may not like him so much. And some of you may really love him a lot. And everybody else is somebody who most people don't care. But the point is, if you really want something, why not get it from the person who has the most of it, who knows how to do that best? Krishna gives us three relationships in the Bhagavad Gita. First, he says that we are, that he is Suridam Sarvabhutana, meaning that he is the best friend, the greatest benefactor, the only true lover of everything living. What more do we want from benefit? We want somebody who will be our best friend, who is the greatest person, the one who is always excited because every moment is an adventure, right? And it's just totally exhilarating. And there are ups and downs that a roller coaster. That's okay. All that is fun. So many people go on a roller coaster. Some people think it's not fun. But actually living is fun. Why is it fun to live? Because they like to live on the edge. And the reality is very much like that. This is our nature. I like to live on the edge. But that's what fun is. It's like, you know, about to fall off the precipice, then you realize where you got yourself to. Then you kind of yourself, it's like there's a ledge there, a tree that you come on, it's like you put it back out again. And it says, Yagya Person. He is the one who actually is the one who enjoys the fruits of Yagya, like fire sacrifices, chanting, this, that. Tapasat means there are times in our lives where we do things that are it's hard work. At times we have to do it. But let's do it in a way that it ends up with us getting a lot of pleasure in the future. Like, say, for example, some of you came to America from India. And the reason you came was because you thought you would become rich and famous. And you'll be able to enjoy your success. And now you will be driving on the road and someone can stop you. The next thing you know, is somebody from Iceland that picks you up and throws you salt or something. And nobody knows where you are and what you're talking about. Then you think, why did I come back? This is living on the edge. This is the fun of living on the edge. It's actually, there's never a better time than dissipation. You've been living the best of times. Why? Because now the illusion is showing up a little bit. It's rearing its head. Say, hey, I'm here. You guys having some fun? Not having enough fun yet? Okay. I'll press it up a little bit more. I'll increase the temperature a little more. Until you jump up and down and think, I can't stand anywhere, I can't sit anywhere, I'm lying anywhere, it's all pain, pain, and pain. That is actually our greatest force. If you walk away from this class with one thing I would say is this: your pain is a powerful. This is to create the best of forces. And that best force is to love God with all sides. Is loving one another. We're all God, ourselves, God. It says that may not be broken. You broke yourself. We're all one God. You can show the love to the apostles that says, now certainly one day you can show your love to Krishna. Of course, Krishna is not going to show up just like that. He's too busy in Rasa Leela and Govardhan Leela and this Leela and that Leela, and he's got no time. You know, Prabhupada, when he started this movement, he said in India, the problem with Indians is their problem was no time Babu. Sorry, no time for Krishna consciousness. Time to make money, time to live with the family nicely, time for politics. Like they say in India, if you have two people, you pay three political parties. Time for all of that, but time for Krishna, no time Babu. Everything comes from Krishna. Krishna is also no time Babu. Why? He's very busy with his gopis and gopas and his cows and calves. Just a myriad of living entities that is having a lot of fun in Goloka Vrindavan. He comes here because we left and decided that one part of us will come into the material world. And what is the material world? The material world is not like it's 5 trillion miles away from Goloka Vrindavan. We are in Goloka Vrindavan. We've just changed the dimension. That's all. We're in a different paradigm. We shifted the paradigm. And then we're in the material world. In the blink of an eye, you can live billions of lives in the material world. I could sit here for years and years and tell you about how that happens. But I was not asked to speak about that, so I want to stick to the topic. The topic today is the glories of Srimad Bhagavatham. So what is the Srimad Bhagavatham? The Srimad Bhagavatam is the mature fruit of the Vedas. What are the Vedas? The Vedas are books of knowledge. They are like a manual for living your life. So Krishna wanted us to know what the purpose of life was and how you could live your life to the max. So the Vedas were manifested initially in words orally, like that, but later on committed to writing, because the sages of Naimisharanya, who were the best of the devotees prior to Kali Yuga starting, decided that it was time for us to think about us, the residents of Kali Yuga, because the residents of Kali Yuga are characterized by a number of things, but Srila Prabhupada puts it very nicely. He says, the residents of Kali Yuga are slow, they're lazy, and they're misguided. Now, slow and lazy is not too bad. Why? Because the more goodness you learn, it is slow. Okay? Nothing wrong. If you make walking in the right direction, you know, being a turtle is not too bad. You don't have to be a hare all the time. Right? If you're a hare, become a hare. Just become a hare. Like that. And then Lazy is also not bad. You have to be a little lazy to actually allow things to teach you nicely, things that need to happen. And in laziness, you can actually understand where your priorities are, because if you don't play your priorities right, you can't play laziness. So that's not too bad too. But misguided is very bad, because misguided keeps us in illusion. So the Vedas were manifested. Initially, there was only one Veda, the Rig Veda. And then from the Rig Veda, Vyasadeva manifested four Vedas, the Sama Veda, the Yajur Veda, the Thar Veda, and the Rig Veda. And what didn't fit in were put in two itihasas, which means histories, the Ramayana and Mahabharata. And what didn't fit into those were brought into 8 Puranas, of which the 18th Purana was one that he had not written actually. But when he wrote all of these Vedas, he wondered why he wasn't feeling happy. He wasn't feeling satisfied. He was feeling that something's missing. I'm not happy. And yet, he had written all these texts, amazing, billions and billions and billions of verses. So then, he prayed hard, and his spiritual master came. Now, if you know anything about Vyasadeva, he's actually the Lord's literary incarnation. He's the literary incarnation of Krishna. Yeah, he has a spiritual master. His spiritual master is Narayana. Now, some of you have been watching too many Hindi movies. So in the Hindi movies, sometimes Narayana is depicted as a little bit of a joker on the one. But actually, his jokes are not jokes. His jokes are always meant to teach us things. And it is a way to learn things in this world, to learn while you're happy. It's something they call laughing. If you're having health problems, heart problems, can't see your plate. Just 20 minutes of laughing for no reason, 3 times a week. It is very interesting what happiness does. The other thing is force a smile. Keep it like that for 2 minutes. And if you can't keep it on open for 2 minutes, go to bed so there. So stay open for 2 minutes and smile for 2 minutes. You'll be surprised how much that'll bring your anxiety down. So this smiling is very important. I come from Fiji. At the time I was in Fiji, tourism was our main. So if we didn't smile, we get snapped. They'll tell us smile. If you smile, more tourists will come. People like happy places, right? So they wanted Fiji to be the happiest place. So when we chanted this prayer, we said that please engage me in the blissful service of Sri Krishna, who bestows bliss on the land of Braja. This land of Braja is our heart. Please try to understand. Krishna consciousness means that you bring the total creation into your heart. That's how big your heart is meant to be. This is a spiritual heart. Of course, the physical heart is also the same creation. But this is where the spiritual heart is. That's why we say me. People don't say me. They don't point to their feet and say me here, right? But that's where the spiritual heart is sitting. That's where the Lord is sitting as well. The big I and the small I. The big I is the Lord as Paramatma, Super Soul. The small I is little me, right? And this heart is where Krishna wants to play the game. Don't try to go somewhere else to play the game. Play the game here. If you don't play the game here, it doesn't manifest outside. When I train people in their leadership, I tell them it's your internals that drive your externals. So first you become strong internally, become happy internally. That is obviously going to come outside. So whatever you see in your life outside is a consequence of what's going on inside. If the music is not right outside, it's the music here that's wrong. The scene that's playing outside is bad. It's because the scene that's playing here is wrong. Fix the scene here in your heart, in your mind, like that. Heart, mind. Amazing things will happen. So that is where Krishna wants to play with us. Make this your playground. So Krishna will play with you in the heart. When he plays with you in the heart, miracles will happen. Your life will be an unfolding miracle with bursts of material energy interfering from happening. That's the material. It's supposed to interfere. It's like sometimes your internet has some interference in it, right? And then it says what do it say? Something is low, bandwidth is low or something. And the next thing you know, you freeze and the other person can see you on the other side. That's an interference. So the material world is meant to throw interference. And you cannot avoid it. Why? Because you've got a woman who is very powerful, who manages that interference. Her name is Maya Devi. And if you think one woman is hard enough, there are another 3 women who really control everything. These women control the modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness. It's Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati. So these 3 are the puppet masters, and they're pulling the strings, and we're dancing. And we're thinking, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm sorry, you're not. The 3 mothers are controlling everything, and no one can boss them around, not even their husbands. When their husbands resigned and said, let them do what they want, because the woman was determined, no one can stop. The woman becomes determined, no one can stop. So you've got 4 women. No one can win against these women. No one. They're all going to be defeated. You want to win? You go into your heart, look for Krishna, talk to Krishna, say to yourself, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Then what will happen is one day you'll notice he's actually there and he starts relating with you. And we do this through the agency of the spiritual master. Some of you might say, I'm not initiated. What am I supposed to do? Well, everyone has the Lord as spiritual master. The Lord is Chaitya Guru sitting right there in the heart. The Lord also comes as devotees. Guru doesn't always only mean a initiating spiritual master. It could be a person who gives us light, who has us come to know about Krishna consciousness. That's called a Margadarshan Guru. Could be a Siksha Guru, somebody is guiding us. Actually, that is the main group. One is guiding us, called Siksha. So through the agency of the spiritual master, we do everything. That's why we chanted this prayer. Through the agency of the spiritual master, I speak. Through the agency of the spiritual master, you're listening. That works. That always works. No matter how stupid we are. And we are very stupid. Maybe if you really know how stupid we were, we will all make a beeline to the mental hospital and ask for some help. That's our position, actual position. But our false ego tells us, no, I'm smart. I'm great. I'm this, I'm that. That's the false ego. And this guy is also very big, by the way. This guy competes with the other 4 leaders as well and says to them, I'm going to defeat you. And he's got no chance, by the way. So he's a false ego. How can I mean, you go to the bank and you deposit some false money. What do you think the bank's going to say? Just one moment, sir. Let me call somebody who can help you. And it might be somebody from ICE. By the way, ICE is becoming a very, you might say, well-known term these days. Everybody thought ice was what you put in a drink. No. Now it sure heats it up a little. Like that. So anyway, this is the heart. So where does this message come from? This message, when Vyasadeva realized that he didn't quite say what he wanted to say, his spiritual master asked him to write Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, obviously, the Vedas had billions and billions and billions of statements. And how do you now condense it into one book, one set of writing that will actually give the essence of the message? So then, Lord Vyasadeva realized, I really need a stenographer. I need somebody to actually write this down, because I have no time. If I write this down, it'd say, I'll be here for 5 months writing this down. So he asked Lord Ganesh. Now, Lord Ganesh also is a bit of an enjoyer. That's why he's a demigod. Nobody enjoys more than demigods. Each one of the demigods, there's 33 million of them out there. They're all big-time enjoyers. They're the biggest enjoyers in creation. So Ganesh thought, I'm enjoying. Why would I sit down and write something? You ask me to write something, I don't be a stenographer. So he put a clause. He made a condition. I will write so long as you speak without interruption. The moment you stop speaking, I'm going to put the pen down. So now, Vyasadeva had to speak the whole Srimad Bhagavatam without stopping, and he spoke 1 billion verses without stop. 1 billion. Well, that should have been. Fortunately for us, that didn't come into Kali Yuga. If it had, it would take us lifetimes to read the Srimad Bhagavatam. Instead, because the sages knew that in Kali Yuga, people will be highly unintelligent, most unfortunate, think very highly of themselves in no time, they condensed the 1 billion verses into 18,000 verses called the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, these 18,000 verses, actually, if you read all of them, and particularly if you read Srila Prabhupada's purports that go with these verses, there is nothing you will not be able to do in this life. Absolutely nothing. Now, you may not do everything you want to do because you realize it's a waste of time doing all this great work in illusion. Why not do it in the real place? So you may want to go back to Goloka Vrindavan and do those things, that's fine. So what is it in the Srimad Bhagavatam that makes it so great? So there are many, many great devotees who have lived in this world who have studied the Srimad Bhagavatam and understood it perfectly. One of them is Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami is one of 6 Goswamis. Goswamis were amazing devotees of the Lord who were given the task of doing all research and then condensing that research into some books that would teach us everything we need to know to become the happiest person we can be. Because the ultimate purpose of life, according to the Vedas, is to be happy and to give happiness to others, to be loved and to be loved to others, to be served and to give service to others. Like this. All 3 mean the same thing. So he actually wrote the Glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, or Sri Bhagavat Mahima. And I'm going to read that for you. And as I read that for you, you can draw your conclusions as to what the texts are actually telling us, and also understand the real depth of Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Sanatana Goswami Maharaj. So he says, I'm not going to read the Sanskrit texts. Okay. I'm going to go straight into the verse, just to save some time. So he starts first. O nectar from the ocean of all scriptures, singular fruit of all the Vedas, rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths. You are the only giver of light to all the worlds. And just that will tell us how great the Srimad Bhagavatam. To talk about gems, I had a friend one day come up with a compound. He gave me this little room. I didn't know that. So what do you think of this world? So it's always about like a kind of 6 foot piece of that's wholesale. Retail is usually house. There was a clear room. He was the tower person before. So one day a lady came to this temple. She was crying. She said, "Why do I cry?" Right. He said, "That's not why I'm crying." I'm crying because we have a ruby and sapphire mine. We used to look out for the business, and I don't know how to look out for the business. I need help. I said, "What can I do?" What can I do? He says, "Can you please, I give half the mine ownership to the temple, but you help me run that mine." So he thought, wow, makes the temple rich, that's overnight. So then the GBC told him, don't want the temple, don't renovate the temple, you'll have lawsuits and all sorts of things. He didn't have separate trust. They did that. And so from that mine, he brought this one little gem. He was carrying some gems in his pocket with no way, with millions of dollars, just a few gems in his pocket. This is like a mine of gems, right? So here the Bhagavatam is described as the rich mine of the precious gems of all conclusive truths. of all truths. They are conclusive truths. And from all those minds, or the minds of those conclusive truths, the best of those minds is Srimad Bhagavatam. Then he says, if you think that's strong enough, if you keep hearing, you think to yourself, I just need to have the Bhagavatam with me all the time. Keep reading the Bhagavatam, and please distribute that Bhagavatam. Because the way to multiply X your life, we're all going to have our law of karma give us some benefits in this life. I call that 1x. Everyone is due 1x. But you want to make that 5x, help 5 people in your life. You want to make that 10x, help 10 people in your life. So you like 100x, help 100 people in their lives. And the best way to do it is get a Bhagavatam set and donate it on Bhadra Purnima, which turns up on 7th of September. It's a Sunday, by the way, this time. So it's really good. On a golden throne. If you don't have a golden throne, I ordered some from India, just so that you can put one on a golden throne and give it to somebody on that day. You will go back to Godhead. That's what it says. Now you might say, I don't believe that. They just always keep saying this will happen and that will happen. Nothing's happening in my life. My life is just the same old, sometimes even worse. So what happened to the boon that I was supposed to get? The boon was given to your soul, not to your smiths. Because you're not the smith. If the boon is given to you, it's not supposed to go to somebody else, right? Imagine you won the lottery, $1 billion, going to pick up the lottery, and they say, sorry, not for you, we're going to give it to somebody else. How are you going to feel about that? That's pretty crummy, right? Worse than crummy. So when the boon is given, it's given to your soul. It's the soul that's getting that boon. And you'll see that when you get rid of the smiths. And you get rid of the smiths on the last day of your breath that you took. On your final test day, which is death. Which is, by the way, the best day of life. Devotees love to die. Get rid of the smiths, right? How can I please get all the things I was supposed to get? That comes to me. Even if you get another set of smiths, this set of smiths is going to be a good set of smiths, not the bad smiths we've got right now. So, this is the benefit of becoming a devotee. When you become a devotee, you become fearless. If you are not fearful of death, that's when you're really fearless. Devotees don't have a problem being picked up by ice and thrown to El Salvador. We'll chant in El Salvador. If you send us to hell, we'll chant in hell. Thank you very much. We have no problems. We'll chant anywhere. We have no issues. We just want to go back to Goloka Vrindavan because we can serve Krishna better there. That's all. Otherwise, we'll serve Krishna right here. We're not waiting. I'm not going to wait to go back to Godhead to start serving Krishna. We'll do it right now. So then he says, O life heir of the Supreme Lord's devotees. He is our life heir. Srimad Bhagavatam is life. You can't live without life heir, by the way. O Master Srimad Bhagavatam, you are the sun risen in the darkness of Kali. Excuse me. Risen in the darkness of Kali. You are the exact image of Sri Krishna. You want to see Krishna face to face? Look at Srimad Bhagavatam face to face. How do you see Bhagavatam face to face? Read 5 minutes every morning. Think about it during the day. Read again the same 5 minutes to remember what you read in the morning 5 minutes. You'll be face to face with Bhagavatam all day. You'll be face to face with Krishna. How much more powerful can it get? It's only 10 minutes. 5 in the morning, 5 minutes. And read in between, try to remember what you read, because you will notice you remember nothing. Got no intelligence, what do you remember? You think you have intelligence. You have illusory intelligence. So it works for illusory things. It doesn't work for real things. Real intelligence works for real things. Bhagavatam will give you real intelligence. As you do this, after a week, after weeks, you'll notice you're remembering now. Remembering what you read. Then it becomes like photographic memory. Now you're intelligent. Now you get life to real intelligence. Then he says, I bow down to you, who are supremely blissful to read. Your every syllable pours down a flood of prema. We all like to be loved. Here's a flood of love in every syllable in the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam starts with the statement, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Right? Om is one syllable. Namo, 2 more syllables. Every syllable pours down a flood of prema. By the way, that is the Mula mantra for Lord Balaram. Right now we're celebrating Balaram Jayanti, right? So Krishna has 3 principal energies called Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladi. Sandhini means the energy of existence. It's what sustains existence. Existentialism comes from this Sandhini Shakti that is personified by Lord Bhagavan. So he's the one who gives us power to have spiritual life. Always pray to Lord Bhagavan. And this is his mantra. By the way, this was the mantra that businessmen used to use in the previous ages to make money. So I just gave you a fantastic tip, worth billions of dollars. I'd be very glad to receive some checks from you guys. With as many zeros on them as possible. At least at one number before them, not just all zeros. You can always be served by everyone. How beautiful is that? You don't have to be a devotee. You don't have to be a Hare Krishna. You just have to have this desire to read. It says you can be served by everyone. If you read, you're serving. Then you'll learn to serve Krishna. You are Sri Krishna himself. So that's the model. So then it says, this is the one I like the most. It says, my only friend. Now, you know, I have a lot of friends. But this one says, my only friend. Why? Because those friends can change their mind. Remember, friends don't always stay friends. Sometimes they can break away as well. Sometimes turn into enemies as well, right? You notice that between Trump and Modi right now? These two were bosom buddies, you know, at one time. And now both of them talk against each other like they didn't even know one another. This happens. This is the material world. Don't worry about it. Those of Indians who are worried, wow, you know, what will happen to Modi? Nothing's going to happen to Modi, nothing's going to happen to Trump. They're both fine. What's going to happen to you, you should be concerned. Those two are going to be okay. Are you okay? That's the question. And to tell yourself you're okay, please keep telling yourself in your mind, I'm fine. It's okay. I got Krishna. I got Krishna sitting in my heart. He's the best friend. He's the owner of everything. He's the biggest and the best in every way. He's my best friend, my only friend, it says. Definitely your best friend, right? My constant companion. You know, when you love somebody, you like to be with them all the time. You don't want to be separated, right? My constant companion. My spiritual master. How do you like that? How do you learn to take initiation? Right? And meet all these requirements of initiation. All the do nots and donuts. Right? And you don't have to worry about that. Just accept Srimad Bhagavatam. That's your spiritual master right there. My great wealth. Okay, now that's the thing. Everybody in Kali Yuga is chasing wealth. It says that in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the 12th canto, that money will be worshipped in the Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga, money will be God. Even the Americans are very honest, right? They write it on the bill. In God we trust. It's obvious who the God is. Right? So my greatest wealth, now you're already wealthy. If you have Srimad Bhagavatam, you're already wealthy. You might think, no, I'm sorry. I don't notice you being very wealthy. You look like a pauper, you look old, you know, you look worn out. No, it's again, wealth is being given to you. Who are you? Spiritual. That's who gets the wealth. Now, get rid of this body as fast as you can. I'm not saying commit suicide. Don't about that. Some in front of a fast moving car or something like that. Don't ask me to do that. That's not the way. The way is to start thinking this body belongs to Krishna. That is meant for Krishna's service and the service of his beloveds, which is everyone. If you do that, you will start becoming happy. Everything will come right in your life. You'll notice it. Like I said, it'll become an unfolding miracle. Then he says, my savior. Right now, we all need saving. My good fortune. Wealth is not good enough. It repeats itself. My good fortune. Everybody wants fortune, right? My source of ecstasy. This is big. Everybody wants to be happy. The purpose of life is to be happy. Give happiness to others. The source of that happiness is Srimad Bhagavatam. If you don't have Srimad Bhagavatam, then Take a nice rolling pin, hit it on your head hard enough that your brain might start awakening a little bit. One of the brain cells sparks between the ears. And you decide, let me get the Srimad Bhagavatam. And better still, give away as many as you can. Because that will 2x it, 3x it, 4x it, 5x it. Multiply it as much as you can. Then he says, I bow down to you. And then he says something that is really very beautiful. He says, O bestower of saintliness to the unsaintly. No, we think I'm a devotee, I'm saint. You're not. I'm not. It's thinking I'm saint. That's all. It's a false ego again. O bestower of saintliness to the saintly. O exalter of the most fallen. Now, if you think you're fallen, you're not the most fallen. But nobody can claim, I'm the most fallen. It's like Srila Prabhupada said, you're the most nothing. You know what I mean? Including fallen. You're not the most fallen. But this says, O exalter of the most fallen. So the most fallen can be exalted. Each and every one of us can be exalted, right? Please never leave me. Always appear in my heart and my voice with pure love. Your heart and your voice should exude only one thing, and that is pure love. If you're exuding pure love all the time from your heart and your voice, you're living the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam. This is the case of Srimad Bhagavatam. We're so fortunate that we know about this, we've heard about this. Because before this, we didn't know this. And this is one of the final verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's in the 12th canto, chapter 13, right? Text 13, something like that. It says that very clearly. That if you give away a Srimad Bhagavatam on a golden throne. Now, the whole Bhagavatam doesn't have to contain a golden throne. It's quite big, as you can see from the table. One book you can put on the throne, the rest of them, because we're not very rich these days. But if you can afford, buy a whole, nice big throne so that every one of the Bhagavatams can sit on an 18 volume. That's great. We're not asking you to take one small one, the first canto or the last canto, however you say, or middle canto, whatever you say. You're all the same. Srimad Bhagavatam is like sugarcane. No matter where you bite, it's sweet. So put that and then take that to someone's house, give it to somebody in their house, and do a nice pushpa abhishek. You don't have to like the deer and everything else. Just take some nice rose petals and shower it on Srimad Bhagavatam and chant some nice mantras. And if you don't know any mantra, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This mantra contains all mantras of creation inside. That's why it's called the Maha Mantra. It is so the Shaganam Ram, Kalikama Shunachana, Nato Paravarabhaya, Sarva Vedic. All scriptures say this 16-worded mantra is the mantra in which everything of any value is contained. So if you're not a Brahmin, like some of us, you don't know the mantras, you don't know the strategy, right? They say when you light a lamp, if you chant Om Krabhyatam Agni Preno Mituram, Yamarajam Gachatu Riprivaha. Why? Because the lamp represents Yamaraj. And you might think, there's a lot of gas. Why would I invite him as the first person? Well, one thing is devotees not to die. That's a different story. But the point is, Yamaraj is the Lord of Dharma. He's Dharmaraj. He's the Lord Dharma. Dharma is the essence of everything. Dharma means your essence. And the essence of everything is Dharma. Sanatana Dharma means that Dharma which is unending. It is eternal Dharma. Lord Dharma being Yamaraj. You light a lamp, you're supposed to invite Dharmaraj. And then start doing everything. That's why the mantra is there. Om Krabhyatam Agni Preno. Yamarajam. Rip Prabha. Flame is going to rip away all inauspiciousness. Like that. But we don't know the mantra, right? So it's okay. Light the lamp, chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. That mantra is anything you do, keep chanting mantra. They say that when you step out of the house, you should check your nostrils to see which one is clear and put that foot out first, based on which one is not clear. And if both are clear, you can jump out if you want. Sorry, I'm not supposed to be joking when I'm sitting. I can't help myself. I do laugh at yoga. I laugh for nothing. Okay, so that's how you're supposed to walk out. So don't do that. You just say Hare Krishna while you're walking out. You took care of it. Say Hare Krishna, you took care of everything. This is the greatest of all mantras, the greatest boon in creation. That is the second energy of Krishna, which we call Samvit. Samvit means the energy of knowledge, awareness. And who exemplifies that? Her name is Vidyavadu. Who is Vidyavadu? Vidyavadu is the consort of Harinam Prabhu. Who is Harinam Prabhu? Harinam Prabhu is the holy name. So all these guys have girlfriends, by the way. Do you know when Krishna started chasing girls? He was only 3.5 years old. And he wanted to get married. His mother is telling him, marriage is not that easy. You think you can cook very nice. He's very nice. It's not. Stop chasing girls. So the guy is very determined. He even did a fire sacrifice on his own and invited his friends to do the fire sacrifice with him so that the boon can be given that he would find a nice girl. And he asked all the gopas, how many of you would like to have a nice, beautiful wife who will serve you hand and foot and everything will be nice and you will be like a king. So then they put their hands up and said, oh, you come and we'll do fire sacrifice. And he started fire sacrifice. And then he got some grass that he was throwing to make the flame happen. And then because he didn't know the mantra, he would go, Swaha. And he told everybody, say Swaha when I say Swaha. If you say Swaha a little earlier, you're going to get a one-eyed wife. And if you say, Swaha, then you'll get a lame wife. Now, you don't want a lame wife, and you don't want a one-eyed wife. So make sure you say Swaha at the right time. So sometimes then you catch like Madhumangal, who's thinking more about food and sweets. He would sort of be out of step. Then he would tell, hey, you want a wife like that? You don't want a wife like that? Make sure. So they did that, Swaha, finished the whole fire sacrifice over. Now he said, after a fire sacrifice, you're supposed to feed the Brahmins. So where are the Brahmins? First of all, they don't even know how to make the food themselves. So how are they going to offer any food? So they went to the Brahmins' houses and they invited all the Brahmins. Tomorrow, please come to our house and we will feed you sumptuously because we know without your blessings, we will not get beautiful wives. Brahmins saw, very nice, going to Mother Yashoda's house. She cooks the nicest food. They all turned up the next morning. They all, by the way, in the morning, drank salt water. Another trick I can teach. I take a lot of tricks, man. Take some water, put some salt in it, like a teaspoon of salt. Drink it. Your appetite will double and triple. Don't worry about the basic problems, okay? Initially, you're supposed to become roly-poly, which means you should be as wide as you are tall. And then you do austerities and come back like me. and then you very Krishna comes. So it's roly-poly, so that little prasad will purify you. Anyway, so these guys had some nice drinks, and they were burning with hunger, and they turned up at Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda had just finished her morning duties, so she was sitting on the veranda, taking a breather, and she sees all these Brahmins coming. And she's thinking, why are all these Brahmins coming to my house? Something great must be going to happen to me. Brahmins coming, that means something great going to happen to me. So the Brahmins turned up, so Mother Yashoda said, so nice to see you all. Why are you all here? And they said, why are we all here? What do you mean, why are we all? You're the one who invited us. I invited you? Yes. You did a big fire sacrifices today, and we were invited for the feast. Where's the feast? She said, I never invited you for the feast. Who invited you? You know, your son came, and his friends came, and they invited us. And she says, Krishna, and Krishna is hiding the bag. He knows what's going to happen. He's going to get a little more hiding from his mother for his naughtiness. So anyway, Krishna comes out. This time he comes out, just out. Yes, mother. So you invited all these people for prasadam? He said, yes, I did. And he says, you didn't tell me anything about it. He says, no, I didn't. I didn't tell you about the fire sacrifice. We did a play fire sacrifice. So I invited them for play prasadam. The thing about these Brahmins is they love seeing Krishna. Just seeing Krishna is a feast for their eyes. So they all were very happy. They all laughed and they realized the big problem. And they were happy to see Krishna, and then they went back home again. Told their wives, I'm sorry we told you you didn't have to cook today. I'm sorry you're going to have to go back and cook something now. We're really hungry. Like that. So, this idea of actually enjoying is there in Krishna, it's in all of us. Yeah, we're meant to enjoy it. But the thing that we can really enjoy is service to Krishna. That service gives us real enjoyment. It's really happy. This is why when I tell Hare Krishnas like your Hare Krishnas, how many of you would give up your Krishna consciousness? If I said to you, I'll give you $10 billion, just give it up. Give up your Krishna consciousness. Here's $10 billion. How many would put your hand? Some of you are shy. I got my hand up. Yeah, I'll get $10 billion, give it away. But you lose the Krishna consciousness, that you're not going to give away. That's why you'll say to them, you get your own Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. Get your own money. Like that. But we would, why? Why don't we give away our Krishna consciousness for such a large sum of money? It's because we've experienced something in Krishna consciousness that gives us true happiness. That gives us real happiness. We're not going to give it up this time. We had in previous lives. This life, we're not giving it. So thank you very much. I think there's going to be a small, you're going to show a small video about people giving away Bhagavatams and feeling very happy doing that. Yes. Question, yes. He's going to show that and then we'll do some questions.
I think I just set it up for you.
You said, okay, so yes, please go ahead. Oh, yes. Yes, thank you very much. Very good point. This is why he was my temple president. So, a smarter person has to become a president. The less one is supposed to serve underneath the temple president. So, first of all, this mantra comes from the Kali Shankana Upanishad, where the mantra actually reads Om Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. It is so the rest of it. So, Lord Chaitanya, who is none other than Krishna himself, actually Krishna is best. See, when someone falls in love with somebody, the internals start coming out and become more obvious. So internally, Krishna is all molten gold. Outside is bluish black. A little bit of a dark guy, you know what I mean? With some bad habits, one might say. It's a naughty guy. He really puts sometimes people into a bind, even Radharani gives up on him at times. Not like that. But that's Krishna. That's love, like I said, that's contrast. But when he really loves Radharani so much, then his skin color changes to her color, golden yellow, and becomes known as Gauranga. Just like in Vastu Puja, right? When we go to people's house and we do a puja in India, especially, they boil milk, right? To make the milk overflow so that opulence will overflow in the house, like that. So the pot is pitch black because it's got wood burning underneath. The pot becomes pitch black. When the milk overflows, the pot looks white. So Krishna, when he's at his best in love, he looks golden yellow. That's Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So he wanted us to be happy, and he knew that certain mantras in the Vedas are reserved for Brahmins. And one of them is any mantra that starts with the name Om. If Om is said, it meant for Brahmins. Now, Brahmins were cursed to be poor. So please don't keep chanting Om, because you're going to lose your wealth. Okay? It's only meant for Brahmins to chant for the benefit of others. And Brahmins don't have a problem with being a little poor, because that's not their interest. Their interest is really pleasing Krishna. They're okay with it. But they get a lot of nice food anyway, that's why they don't get big bellies. Like that. So what Lord Chaitanya did, he wanted everyone to get this benefit. So what he did was, he took the Om away from that mantra and flipped it upside down. So it became Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. And this mantra itself is actually the spoken form and can also be the mental form of the Supreme Lord himself. It's none other than Krishna himself. The holy name is Krishna himself. There is no difference between Krishna and his holy name. In fact, that is the first way he comes to us. He comes in the form of the name. Then he comes in the form of his attributes, the different attributes he has. We notice that, like the world looks beautiful, the rose looks very beautiful. It's an attribute. It comes in that form. We can see now everything of beauty around us, everything of value around us is actually Krishna. It's a spark of Krishna. Splendor, one of Krishna's fathers. And then he comes in the form of the paraphernalia, like this form, it's paraphernalia. You can use this in Krishna's service. So it becomes Krishna's paraphernalia. And so it comes in form paraphernalia. You see a lot of paraphernalia here around us. Like that. So then it comes in form of pastimes. Like I just told you a pastime of Krishna being naughty, trying to look for a wife. Right? So like that. So it's pastimes. So then he comes from his entourage, which means his people. You start noticing, oh, all these people are actually Krishna's devotees. So in the spiritual world, there's somebody very important. That is why you never offend anyone. Because if you offend others, then you are offending a person very dear to Krishna. You're not going to find Krishna very easily if you offend his people. And then it comes in the form of the deity himself, showing up, Krishna himself showing up, his face, the Srimad Bhagavatham, like that. We get to see him face to face in that form. But all of these are face to face with Krishna. So thank you. All of this comes from the holy name. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Energy of the Lord, for more attractive Lord, for reservoir of all pleasure. Kindly engage me in your service. Service means expression of love. That is what service doesn't mean work. That's the illusory definition of service. The real definition of service is it's an expression of love. That's why we love serving Krishna. We should love showing love to Krishna. Anybody else? Yes. Are we ready?
Yeah.
You ready? Okay. Good.
People of our whole village. They never heard the name of ISKCON before, and there are no centers around. But just reading these Mahapurans and Srila Prabhupada's paper, today my mother is chanting 200,000 names or more than 112 rounds of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day for 1.5 years. For more than a year, my wife and I have been chanting 64 rounds or more every day. Around 25 people are chanting every day in our village. Till now, we have distributed around 100 Srimad Bhagavatam sets, and most of the people in our village have a set.
How are you distributing so many Srimad Bhagavatam sets?
My 9-year-old has memorized more than 250 verses.
Oh, nice, Mahima. Can you please tell us your favorite verse?
Seeing this transformation in our life, many people are interested to accept this Srimad Bhagavatam set. But people here are so poor that they can't afford daily bread, what to speak of buying a Srimad Bhagavatam set. Couple of centuries back, people were ready to die but not give their dharma. People now are slowly forgetting Vedic knowledge, due to which even just for rice or wheat bags, they are ready to give up their dharma and accept other ideologies. We request everyone to please support us to place more Srimad Bhagavatam sets in villages so that we can protect and revive our Vedic culture and knowledge.
Anybody else have any questions, any concerns, doubts? All of you convinced that everything I said is supreme absolute truth? Yes? Any concerns, any doubts? Please, this is the time to speak. Remove your doubts. That's what's stopping you. In Bhagavatam, in Gita, it says, for a doubting soul, there's neither happiness in this life nor the next. Don't allow doubts to stop you. Yes. Yes. So in the Bhagavatam, there is a statement made, Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam, meaning of all the lords in this world, of all the incarnations of God in this world, Krishna is the original, he is the origin, he is Swayam Bhagavan, which means that he is originally God, like that, originally God. So we know that in this world, many of us worship many different avatars of Krishna, right? All different forms of Krishna, like Lord Nrsimhadev. By the way, it's a very beautiful movie that's come out in town that you should be watching. Beautiful movie of Lord Nrsimhadev, Mahavatar Krishna, Nrsimha. Or Lord Narayan, or Lord Vishnu, like that. People even worship demigods. Sometimes they worship like Ganesh. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong. You can worship Ganesh. There's nothing wrong. The point is, when you worship, the idea is to worship with all of your heart and soul. That person will guide you in the right way, and the Lord knows that you're really trying to worship Him. Krishna knows that. Krishna is the only one who knows everything about everybody. Not just everybody, us, but everybody, including the bug on the ground there. There are billions and billions of them right there. He knows everyone's heart perfectly. So he knows this person is worshipping Ganesh for this reason. And sooner or later, he will attract him to himself like that. There's a very nice story of Lord Jagannath, in which this Ganesh devotee came to Lord Jagannath's temple but refused to offer obeisances to Lord Jagannath. He says, "This is not my God is Ganesh." So they said, anyway, out of respect, Lord Ganesh also respects Lord Jagannath. Why don't you actually just offer your respects? So he decided, he bowed down, didn't do full Sashtang Danavats, bowed down half, got up. When he saw Lord Ganesh. He didn't see Jagannath. So he said, "But that's my Lord here." He said, "No, it's not your Lord, that's Lord Jagannath." No, that's Ganesh. So Lord Jagannath was showing him Ganesh and saying, "I am here, don't worry." Like that. So this is the real nice value of worshipping Lord Jagannath. He's like that. He shows himself, and the whole story of Lord Jagannath is so amazing, how he came to be, which is at the time of Krishna, not the time when the temple was built. But before that, a very beautiful thing happened that became the story of Lord Jagannath. So worshipping Krishna like this, Krishna is originally God. And also it is said that when you go back to Goloka Vrindavan, all the lords are there in Goloka Vrindavan, all serving Krishna. Ekela Ishvara Krishna are Sabapritya, meaning that only Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when you go back to Goloka Vrindavan, Lord Narayan, Lord Nrsimhadev, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, all of these personalities are with us, worshipping Krishna and loving Krishna. So you're not going to miss out on anybody. Don't worry. You might think, "Oh, I love Lord Ram so much. I go to Krishna. What happened to Lord Ram?" Don't worry. Lord Ram, by the way, is Radharani's bodyguard. And he took his name from her. Ram is originally Krishna's name, but always, because Krishna and Radharani are the same person, originally it was Krishna. From his right, he manifests Balaram. From his left, Radharani. All three are the same soul, but three bodies. Ahamivasam Nanyat Yat Sadasatparam. Paschadam Edetacha Yavishishita Sasmina. Krishna says that in Srimad Bhagavatam. So there are five Ramas like that. There's Lord Parshuram, then there's Lord Ram, Dasarathanandan Ram, then there's Balaram, and then Krishna is Ram also. His name is Raman. Raman means Ram iti Rameti iti Raman. And then, because Ram means the greatest enjoyer, so Krishna enjoys everybody, therefore he's Ram. But who enjoys Krishna? Radharani. So she's the topmost Ram. Of the five Ramas, she's the topmost Ram. And so everybody wants to take her name. So Lord Ram also wanted to take her name because he loves her so much. So he took the name Ram for himself. This is Krishna coming as Rama. Ram is Krishna coming to teach us morality. Maryada Purushottam. You get the idea? Lord Shiva also loves Radharani so much, he took his name from Radharani. Shiva is Radharani's name. Look up the 1008 names of Radharani. Originally, you'll see Ram is there and Shiva is there too. Even Lord Shiva loves Radharani so much, he took her name and made it one of his names, Shiva. So today you worship Shiva and you don't even know that. This is why it's important to read the scriptures, and particularly scriptures that are bona fide scriptures, particularly Srimad Bhagavatam, where these things are clarified properly. In the association devotees, these things are well understood. And then you'll become truly happy. And all this argument people are having, fighting who is God, who is not God, and this, that, and the other, is meaningless. That doesn't change anything about God. 1 + 1 = 2 doesn't change whether you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're a saint yourself, you're the greatest saint on the planet, you're whoever you might be. And 1 + 1 remains. 2 is a constant. Krishna, being the original supreme person of God, constant. He never becomes, insecure. He's fine. He's very secure, very secure. And when we come to know him, we become secure. From security comes security, like that. So, thank you again. Beautiful question. Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay, I know we're very hungry because the best part of the program is Prashad. Yeah, it's waiting at the back. So we'll now have, unless somebody has a burning question, we will now have some announcements. Announcements and then or state arti? Announcements.
Thank you so much, His Christy, for coming and giving such a showing the importance of Bhagavatam. So actually, Bhagavatam, as Prabhuji said, is there. Right there, we can talk to Naveen Prabhu and our team, and here we can see the Bhagavatam. We can take a look and like how Bhagavatam is, and you can order. So the next is basically. Probably want to announce the coming fest. Yeah, festival. Janmashtami is coming over.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining us this Sunday, and thank you so much, Prabhuji, for enlightening us on such a wonderful topic. Bhadra Purnima Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Thank you. So, as you all know, by the divine blessings and mercy of Sri Alachanji, will celebrate Janmashtami festival in the North Dallas area on September the 6th. It will be celebrated on September 6th. August 16th is the theme, but in Frisco we are doing next month on September 6th. So thank you so much for the Tithi is August 16th, which is next Saturday, and the main festival will happen at Kalachanji Temple. The festivities will begin from 4 p.m. all the way till midnight, and followed by beautiful darshan of the divine lordships, and then carry forward in the mercy to this part of AMW. On September 6th, we will be celebrating Janmashtami on Collin College Conference Center, as we have been doing for the last few years. So this is a flyer. We'll start socializing this with all of you. Please share with your friends, mark your calendar. Please be part of this event. And likewise, if you want to support this event, we have some opportunities. Prabhuji, can do the next. This is just a quick glance at what we have. So we have some color sponsorships, some grant sponsorships, and
I'll change it.
so just in case if you want to support, all the proceeds will go towards Gita Mandir, and that will be very helpful if you want to kind of just plug in yourself, or even if not anything, just join us and be part of the celebrations. These are some high-level seva opportunities available just for everyone to take part of this divine celebration of appearance. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So we'll go to the announcements. So we have various today our Gopal Fund School has started. So there are still a few openings available, and you can register and Sundar, you want to just tell something about Sunday school? Tell something about Sunday school. Basically, all our kids, most of them are very enthusiastically registered, and there are 3 classes. She's going to explain what those.
So Sunday school is starting today, and we have 3 classes. So basically from 5 to 8, 9 to 11 and 12 to 14 years. So send the flyer earlier, and we'll be covering basically different stories from Srimad Bhagavatam and scripture, the scriptures like Ramayana and Mahabharata. And we'll also cover the shlokas from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. If you need more information on like what we teach and how the structure would be, you can reach me. I'll let you know. If you want to register, please try to register as soon as possible because we have very limited seats right now. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. And today's Sunday feast is sponsored by Venkat Prabhu on the behalf of his son. So let's stand 3 times for his son. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And say Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Prabhuji, can you please come? And so now we want to invite those who are new to Kita Mandir. I know like today we see a lot of new families. This is his first day of Sunday school. A lot of new people registered. So kindly please come ahead. We will have a small gift for you. You can probably is going to give some blessings. Anita Prabhu. Dani Prabhu. Can take.
Came to know regarding this from my community group. I'm really looking forward for my son to so
I heard this from my friend Suma. Some hardship, like one time I went, I supposed to visit her home frequently, but at maybe one instance I listened the sloka saying by Harshit, which is her son, and I asked her how he is frequently, fluently saying these slokas. She told about this Gita Mandir, and I asked is there any age restrictions or something like that. At the time she is just 3.5 years. So okay, let me wait till 4 years and see how it goes. So luckily she turned last week 4 years, and I asked will there be any opportunity? This is a trial session, and she enjoyed. So that's how I came to know. Thanks to Suma and Krishna, and thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And there's a walkathon coming up actually. Is Madhati here? So probably you want to just talk about this marathon.
Hare Krishna. We have before Janmashtami celebrations, we have another event
from Gita Mandir, we are celebrating a walkathon in sports Barron Sports Complex near to Costco on the Eldorado Parkway. So please mark your calendar on 23rd August, 8 a.m. in the morning. Please plan accordingly. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for it. And as we know, we are building a new temple. If somebody wants to sponsor, please go ahead. On the book table, you'll get various options to sponsor. And now we're going to start the Aarti. Please everyone stand up and come forward so that you can participate in Aarti. Everyone is free to dance. The next study.
BBT founder Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Swami Gurudev ki Jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki Jai, Shri Sat Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Ramcharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Prem se Kaho Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath, Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana ki Jai, Radhabhumi Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Shri Mayapur Navadvip Dham ki Jai, Purushottam Chitra Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki Jai, Shri Gokul Puri Dham ki Jai, Yamuna Mai ki Jai, Ganga Mai ki Jai, Srimati Tulsi Devi Maharani ki Jai, Srimati Bhakti Devi Maharani ki Jai, Samveda Bhakti Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai, Sankirtan Mahajagya ki Jai, Jugadharma Hare Krishna Maharani ki Jai, Islam ki Jai. His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada's transcendental books and prasadam distribution ki Jai. Jai Guru Shri 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 Panchatattva ki Jai, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai, Shri 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 Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai, Shri Shri Prahlad Singh Deva ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Govind ki Jai, Shri Shri Chota Radha Chanji ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Chanji ki Jai, Antaraj Srimad Bhagavatham ki Jai, Shri Bhadra Purnima ki Jai, Shri Balaram Jayanti ki Jai, Shri Gita Mandir ki Jai, Shri Gita Mandir Gaur Bhakti Vrinda ki Jai, Jai Gaur Pramanand. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Shri Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Now we're going to have Narasimha prayers.
महाप्रसादे गोविन्दे महाप्रसादे गोविन्दे रामा रामे वैष्णवे अपपन्याव्रतं राजन् अपपन्याव्रतं राजन् कृष्णातोने जायते विश्वासो यत्र शरीरं
Thank you so much. We're going to to have prasadam. And again, I repeat, we are doing the Bhagavatam thing, distribution, and you can also have. If you don't have, please take it, we can order at the book table. And also, if you do have, you can also give it to your friends, as Prabhuji greatly explained. If one on the full moon day of month of Bhadra Purnima, one places Srimad Bhagavatam on the golden throne and gives it to as a gift, he will attain the supreme transcendental destination. This is written in Bhagavatam, 4th canto, 13th chapter, 13th verse. Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
सारे लिखे कौन है ना सारा बुक्स बाद में सारे ग्रंथ को पढ़ भी लगो तो
No, they are Muslim. He's not talking about this other thing, how they're really supposed to say like things about yeah, it wasn't like no, it's like they were like trying to find like really, there was like vegetarians, right? You made it everything except
అది కూడా తీసుకో Yeah, we'll close it and we'll put it back. Can you shift it? ఇక్కడ కొట్టా ఎండ్ స్ట్రీమింగ్ ఉందిగా ఈ ఎండ్ స్ట్రీమింగ్ కొట్టేస్తే